Hall of Fame snatcher. Who do you think of? No, not the Moana. No, not Peter Pan. And no, not Krampus. Hell no, not Krampus. Fuck that. We're talking about somebody more menacing, more shiesty than those names I just brought up. We're talking about the baddest, I'm sorry. We're talking about the baddest legend there is, Bloody Mary. Now, this legend is highly debated on where the origins came from because there's Maryworth and there's also Queen Mary. And today we'll be covering both just to get a full all around view of her story. I hope you're having a great day and I hope you enjoy the video. Welcome to Curious X, a series on the channel where I read legends and get your opinions about them. Remember to like and subscribe, and we're going to jump straight into it. Do you remember how you found out about Bloody Mary? For me, it was at a sleepover with my cousins. I remember being scared as hell sneaking into the bathroom late at night. But the rules were, you say her name 3 times in the mirror and she'll come out. We both know I ain't do that. I chickened out. I'm gonna be real. By the second time I said her name, bro, I was gone immediately. Now, that's the one we're mostly all familiar with. But the story is so old that there's so many different variations of Bloody Mary. There's certain variations where she appears in blood. Certain variations where she just standing behind you. Honestly, Mary's just a mysterious rapper. I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Because one day she's chilling, next day she'll drag you away. And I feel her too. Yeah, I'm looking at you, bro. I drag you away too. But that's besides the point. Is Bloody Mary real? Well, a lot of people think she is. A lot of people believe her legends, and the legends is branched off into different variations and different stories. This video being based off of Bloody Mary's history will show you not only how bloody, but also how shiesty and evil this lady really was. Starting with Maryworth. Maryworth was a normal lady to the villagers that just lived in a small cabin. She also made herbal remedies and medicines for the local, but we all know what happens when you mind your business.
My mistake, original gangster. No, this cannot be forgiven. Now empty the compartments of your pantaloons. For what purpose? And discard of your footwear as well. For what purpose? In fact, I am equipped to summon the one casually known as Little Travis on your buffoon self.
Due to Mary's practices and living in the forest, the locals thought of her as a witch. Due to them thinking like this and letting ignorance win, the people that went to her were even shunned. Basically, nobody in the village wanted anything to do with Mary or her practices. Then, on an unfortunate day, small girls started going missing. The villagers checked everywhere and couldn't find the little girls. That's when a group of brave men got together and ventured through the forest to get to Mary's cabin. Even though she denied having any part of it, the families were still very suspicious of her. Her appearance even had a slight change from being elderly and wrinkly. She started appearing more feminine. Even with this, the villagers couldn't do much due to there not being no evidence. Now, it's said that she sacrificed the kids to gain this newfound youth, but the parents didn't know that. Like I said, she's a Hall of Fame snatcher, and we'll add Hall of Fame baddie too, you feel me? Because you know what I'm saying, she snatched them kids up. She was like, damn, I don't want no Birkin, I don't want no bag, I don't want no necklace, nigga. I want that body. I want that body. I'm sorry, bro. I promise you, I'd be more professional on other topics. The story still continues, though, this time following along the miller's daughter. One night, the daughter hears a mysterious noise that only she could hear. Fully captivated by the sound, the daughter gets up and starts walking. While this was going on, the mom had her hand full trying to treat a bad toothache using herbal medicine she bought from Mary. The wife was obviously troubled by the sudden movement of the daughter and called on her husband to follow the daughter. He then yells for the daughter, but it was just a waste of breath. She ain't hear the man. She was being attracted and pulled by a force beyond comprehension. Mr. Miller then proceeds to get help from the townspeople. Fortunately, one of the farmers catches the light at the edge of the forest. Then they begin walking towards the forest just to eventually see Maryworth standing in the clearing by an oak tree with a wand. Yes, a wand, pointing it directly at the miller's house. It was said that the wand was glowing and the daughters were walking straight to it. Once they found out what Mary was, they sharpened their weapons and gathered up to cast Mary from the village. Mary caught wind of that and then packed their bags and left. But luckily, they weren't too late, because one of the farmers caught her loading up his gun and put one in her hip, immediately falling to the ground. The villagers promptly beat the living daylights out of her and tied her up to a stake.
Get him up, let him get up, let him get up, let him get up. What? Fight back, nigga! Fight back! Fight back!
When she was tied up, they instantly made a bonfire and set fire to Mary. They was trying to get her gone, bro. They was trying to get their get back, bro. They was like, damn, you grade A baddie, you know? What happened to Lil Tim? What happened to Lil Tim? I ain't even gonna lie, I wouldn't be worried about Tim for real, bro. I'd be like, what? What is that? Shouty? What is that? Shouty? Let me stop, bro. When she was tied up, they instantly made a bonfire and set fire to Mary, which end result was probably the worst decision they could make in a lifetime, because Mary sets a curse upon the villagers while being burnt. The curse was she'll be back to get her vengeance, but it doesn't stop there. Eventually, the villagers got to find the truth out for themselves by entering Mary's cabin. Mary had rows of marked graves, and it was speculated that she disposed of the children and used their blood to somehow make her appear younger. Because of those events, you can now summon Mary in front of any reflecting object in the dark. But seriously though, when she made that curse, that's when the legend was created. I don't know about you, but I'm not gonna find out anytime soon. And that do not mean crash out on me, bruh. I need you here. I need you to watch the videos. Don't summon her. Hell no. Hey, if you do, summon her. Tell her to holla at your boy. Now, that was the Mary White version. What did you think? Do you think that was the real version of Bloody Mary? Because in my opinion, that was my favorite one. And I feel like out of all the legends that I've read, this is probably top tier along with the GOAT, man. And the next version we're covering doesn't have the Hall of Fame baddie badge, but she got Hall of Fame snatcher. She was snatching souls left and right. I'm gonna be honest. Queen Mary was running through them. This next version follows Mary Tudor, the first queen of England, and was called Bloody Mary by her opponents and enemies, but she wasn't granted the name yet, but earned it through her ruling as the first queen of England. Even though there were other queens, she was the first to rule as the country's primary ruler. Queen Mary's life started at the Greenwich Palace, the same place she was baptized in. Her life was very weird from the start, because by the age of 2, this little girl was engaged. And 3 years later, the engagement ended. You would think they would give this little girl some space, but they didn't. And so her next engagement was when she was only 6, to her 22-year-old cousin Charles. It was geek to the highest degree, bro. But he then too canceled the engagement ceremony. But beyond all the weird marriage arrangements, married life was very unpredictable. Henry divorced her mom and was married to Anne Boleyn during her childhood. Well, until she got executed in 1536 for cheating. On top of this, Mary's father claimed her as illegitimate, and it took until Henry's third wife, Jane Seymour, I don't know how to say that, bro. Y'all, just, hold up. It's right there. It's somewhere. To reconcile and bring back Mary. Through this, she was granted back into the line of succession. Even though Mary's come up was hard, Her real journey doesn't start until the death of Edward VI. Following Edward's death, there was a bid placed on to have his Protestant cousin, Lady Jane Grey, to have the throne, which honestly would have been good for the people. I ain't even gonna lie, it was crazy at that time, but that didn't happen. Only 9 days after Jane's ascension, Mary rode up to London and gathered the support of the people and claimed the throne. She overtook it from Lady Jane and her husband, but at the time, Jane didn't think she was gonna get executed, and Mary executed them almost immediately. Researching about Jane, it was said that she was executed at the time she was pregnant, and that's what gave the citizens a bad outlook on Mary. And on that same note, it said that the people accepted Mary and thought as if she was done wrong by her family. Once she was crowned in October 1553, she quickly restored Roman Catholic faith in the nation. Her next move was to marry Prince Philip in an attempt to conceive a Catholic heir. And you would think it would stop here, but Mary was surrounded by mess. And during Mary's reign, a rebellion called Wyatt Rebellion even started. But it was quickly gone like a fart in the wind. And her half-sister was even in prison in the Tower of London for several months during her reign, which was kind of messed up because no proof was shown. And I'm about to say my opinion real quick, but I feel like when Mary got that crown put on, she was coming back with a vengeance, bro, for like how she was treated, because like everybody was just done wrong. And even though Mary's reign was short, she did burn 280 people at the stake, all because they wouldn't convert to Catholic. Mary even made 800 people flee the country because of this, because of her religious persecution. Mary was given the legendary name Bloody Mary. Even despite this, she still tried to conceive a heir, which she thought she had to, but they were false alarms, as if it was karma at play. And toward the end of her life, she had to appoint her half-sister, her prostate, her Christian half-sister, Elizabeth. Which I know she was heated, bro, because like reading about Mary, she fucked with Roman Catholic and like believed in it so heavy. But like, whenever you gotta start like killing people for something you fuck with, bro, is it really the same thing you came to? You know what I mean? Even though her reign was short ran, it was for the better of the people, because a lot of people at the time weren't feeling Catholic. 1, 2, she was just making mistakes and just doing whatever, touching up the laws, and like half the things that she did they redid, and just she didn't make a mark for real. And she eventually died in November 1558. That was a lot, honestly. And I love looking over this legend, and I hope you enjoyed it as well. Starting with Maryworth, that legend I feel as if it was the true embodiment of Bloody Mary. It was just the best story. It was the embodiment of Bloody Mary. Like, Maryworth is Bloody Mary. Like, she was the goat snatcher. Like, hear me out. She took the villagers' kids just to make her a baddie, bro, with the curves. She took the kids just to do that. But after reading her story and knowing what she did at the stake and how she placed the curse on them, I'm not saying her name in a mirror, bro. I'm not finna try that, bro. You got the wrong guy. Now, Queen Mary, her reign was just get backs, like just chances to get her get backs, really. I would also say she wasn't given the name Bloody Mary for no reason. This lady was out here in 15-something England snatching bodies up like hellhounds. Fetch me their soul! I don't think she was the entity Bloody Mary that we all grew up with and surrounded. Maybe she was, maybe she wasn't. But I didn't see nothing about, saying her name 3 times in the mirror. It was just the name history given her, which you probably already know or you might not. But I just wanted to cover both of the topics. But I don't think Queen Mary was the entity we was talking about. But don't let that fool you, though. She wasn't soft. She wasn't soft. She will pack them bodies up. She will pack you up. What's your opinion on Mary Worth and Queen Mary? Which one do you feel is the rightful Bloody Mary? Leave your opinions in the comments down below. I really enjoyed making this. And remember to like and subscribe because it motivates me, honestly. I hope you're having a good morning, good afternoon, and a good night. Peace.